Let's get started. Thank you everyone for showing up in person. Amazing to have you all here. We want to start by thanking our generous sponsors. Ryan, Dawn, and Lynette are here from the Republic, and they provided this amazing breakfast. So let's give them the big round of applause. Let them introduce themselves, and they're here to answer any specific questions regarding title that you might have, having been impacted. So thank you for coming, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I'm pretty sure I know most everybody in the room. If you haven't met Lynette Ipa or Don Dorego, they're two of our escrow officers. Lynette works in our Kahului office, and Don works out of our Wailea office. And just with everything changing right now, just a really crazy time. The market's ever changing, and so we're here to answer your pressing questions. If there's something that you haven't received answers on, or something that's just been weighing on you right now, we have really two experts to answer those questions. If you have marketing questions, I can answer those as well. But I'll open the floor now to the experts. So if you have any questions for Lynette and Don, please ask away.
So question, is that what that?
Yeah.
What's the difference with escrows now versus, right before the fire? Like, what should we expect longer time or concerned with insurance?
I think at the beginning there was a delay, like all the loans had, there was a stop until they review and they went out and reevaluated the property. They had appraisers have to go back out. Now, I haven't seen any stoppages now because now they pretty much know the areas, and it was about the fires. Also, fires had to be below 80% contained before they were willing to insure and move forward. So now that we're in that area and it's been publicly put out there that where it is, because some of the fires are still burning, especially Kula now it's still going. So but they're at 90 to 95% now. So they're in that range that it's okay to insure. So we've been seeing it go through. We did have some transactions that canceled because people were concerned, people that were buying investment property, that they wouldn't get the what they were gonna be. I don't know, that was their opinion. In my opinion, I'd like it'd probably be better in a little bit, like a couple months, because everybody's gonna still want to come, and then our inventory is a little lower, but it's just my own personal.
I think on that too. I've seen some loans where, they're ready to go, but now all of a sudden they're like, we want a second appraisal. We want to make sure. And I know I have one broker fighting with the lender trying to say, hey, come on, it's not even in the burn zone, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
They came back, sure, if you have somebody who's not gonna benefit from that second appraisal, go in. She's like, well, who do I get? The agent's gonna benefit, her office would benefit, escrow would benefit, everybody's getting paid on the transaction, so ends up they gotta go for the appraisal. So I think that's kind of happening too, where they're doing second appraisals. If I guess the loan goes that far along. So maybe going forward, it'll just be the one.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
I have a second.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Wow. 3,000 questions.
They just want to go out there.
We have a question on Zoom.
Be sure.
I have a couple questions. One, on the second appraisal, is it correct that the buyer is having to pay for that second appraisal? Is it the same cost as the first appraisal? And then the second question is about the water. So is that impacting the appraisals and the loans going through? My understanding was it is. Is that correct?
I haven't heard anything about the water.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about the water being something that's affecting the appraisal. I mean, not to say that it isn't, but I haven't heard directly that it is. And the second appraisals, I know when the loan was already through and there was a first appraisal and they had to do a reappraisal, the buyer was responsible for paying that. The lender did charge the buyer for that fee. Yeah, I think it's still the buyer because it's no loan. Yeah, the buyer is still responsible for that.
So
Do
we
we-
need to make sure that they're aware that it may require a second appraisal, which means that they may have to come up with the additional appraisal funds for closing, correct?
Recertification, it's called, and some of mine, the recertifications, it range from $450 to $650.
But
That's what
moving
I've seen.
forward, that should be.
But from now, if they didn't even do one yet, then it's
Yeah,
just
it
their
would
regular
be a
appraisal.
One-time appraisal.
Thank you.
What is the fastest ORTC you can close with cash?
10
Have you
days,
seen?
10 cash, yeah, I just closed one in 40 days.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, but then we have to preface that your clients need to be responsive,
Right.
and it depends on where they are, cause if they're in a foreign country, yeah, it's gonna be a challenge for the seller to sign it. If it's a fee simple cash property, then the buyers would be able to sign everything by DocuSign, so that's easy. It's just the deed that the seller has to sign, so it just kind of depends on where the seller is. But if everybody's really responsive and we get everybody's contact information right at the beginning, then that's not a problem.
Is a week possible?
I have done it in a week, it's possible, yeah.
Again, same thing, as long
Yeah.
as everybody is responding and on
Yeah.
it, yeah, and I think a key factor too is make sure you've got. Hopefully a preliminary report already done, so you know if there's any title issues, because that could be a whole.
That would be,
Got it.
but yeah, if your title is good, yeah, and everybody's where they needs to be, then yeah, we can rush it. But we do have to ask questions when people are trying to rush in 1 week, because a lot of times that's red flags for fraud. So it's like, oh, why all of a sudden this? So we're gonna be asking you, do you really know this person? Like, are you aware of the seller? Do you know who they are? Cause sometimes that's one of the huge red flags, like, well, we have to get it done like right now.
I have a few escrows where my clients have told me that they close so fast in California, like
Yeah,
versus Hawaii.
well, and then California also has where you can record and disperse in the same day. And Hawaii, our recording system, because of the good funds law,
Right.
we have to make sure that all the funds are in before we can submit it, and the bureau requires us to submit the documents by 8:30 in the morning, the day before we record. So we like the 3-day lead time so that we can review all the documents, however, we've done it with 2 days prior.
Got it.
You know, we have done it where the wires came in and we vetted it first thing in the morning the day prior. It's not our favorite thing to do because
I know,
we wanna
yeah.
make sure that, you know, we don't want anything get missed.
So
Oh, yeah, I
yeah,
got it.
speaking along the lines of fraud and stuff like that, I had a situation, you know, where people sent me their passport, you know, I got the photo ID verification. But the timeline and the storyline did not match up once I questioned them further. But I'm just curious, like, is escrow, because fraud is on the rise, and it's like, basically, I learned from that experience that to open up an escrow account and pretend you're a seller, you just need an email and a number, a phone number. So I mean, are the escrow, you know, you guys, we put our trust into you guys, you know, escrow companies, and I just wonder if the escrow companies nationally are doing something to verify that who you're dealing with and who you're servicing is also legit, right? So, cause I mean, it can't just be all up to the agents, I feel like, to just like verify this person, cause you know, I got the passport, you know, and I did everything, but once I looked into it further, like, turns out this guy was Nigerian, he was posing as a Chinese and his passport looked like a Russian dude, you know? I was like, you know, I'm seriously, so like, we don't play that, you know, like, it's like, no, it does not match up. So, and I didn't wanna take that risk, you know, but I'm just like, it would be so helpful to get that support, you know, from escrow as well, since you guys are getting paid too, you know, so I just love to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I think first of all, what you said is true. I mean, we're working together as a team to protect our clients and ourselves, right? We're all in it together. As far as like vacant, let's say vacant land, yeah, some of them don't have mortgages on them. And yeah, there's been some scams, vacant land has been sold, so we have a new system now. Escrow comes in, we see it's vacant land. We don't tell anybody, but behind the scenes, we've gone through our property tax office records, looked at who's actually getting those tax office notices or the assessment notices. And we're mailing them a letter, hey, congratulations, we received an escrow. We have had a couple of instances already where we've stopped a sale. Another thing that we're doing is
We
are
validate
mandating.
that,
Yeah,
the
they've got to
addresses.
come into our office, and you know, if it's local or, you know, where we
Yeah,
have an
we have
office.
our own notaries.
To do the notary so that we're meeting them face to face, it's not just, yeah, send us a copy of an ID kind of thing. If they're not here, we mandate that we use our SnapDocs mobile notary service. We have 2 services actually.
We have, yeah, so we have, and it just depends on what part of the country they're in, what service we have, but we have validated
So
notary
those are a
services.
couple of things.
So-
we're trying to do.
And they're not allowed, we don't allow them to do remote online notaries.
Okay.
Because
I
that-
think it's something that we might consider, and I'm going to, because I just had one. Doing even before you do a listing.
Yeah.
So I actually called Darnell and then I went to Mrs. Cheese and I did fast people search, she's 92. Well, this girl is not 92. But I went to her Kahului address and I kind of, I almost went to the door, but there was like a lot of cars. But if they are local, then we can at least filter it that way, and I would have, if I was gonna go further, I would knock on her door and say, hi, are you reach out to me to sell your property in Wailuku? And then she gave me that face, like, I don't know who you are. And actually, once I responded to the solicitor saying that we need to verify your identification and I will be checking it. And I threw you guys a little bit under the bus. I said, and title will be calling you as well. They never responded back.
Yeah,
This is
One
the
more
agent's
question.
responsibility,
yeah.
so you have to, it's all vacant land, the scam is a vacant land scam. We got one the other day, and so it's just when you got people that are hustling you to sell out of the blue.
And ready to sign documents.
Right, ready to
Yeah.
sign documents, right, that's your red flag right there, cause it doesn't, it's not a real estate work, right? Some rando is gonna call you and pick you out of all these people. Yeah, so.
One more question from Miranda. Molly. Go ahead, Miranda.
Too late.
3, 2.
Gotta
Hey
unmute.
guys, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to drive there. So, are you guys offering a discount like some of the other ones are for those who have been affected by the fire?
We have, I don't know if that's allowable, just saying, because all of everyone's escrow and title charges are, we have to post it with the insurance agency with the state of Hawaii and even our discounts. So if we go, we're not allowed to go against any of those discounted rates. So if people are saying that you're getting a discount because of the wildfire and being affected by it, then I would kind of question that. But I mean, we don't have a specific one for that, but we do have great discounts, 30% for investor, 25% for seniors, anything that was insured in the past 10 years, even if we didn't insure it, we qualify for 25%.
Come on.
Come on. Not. You do have a first time home buyer discount, but then that depends on what the range of the property value is on that, because you can be, if you're a first time home buyer, but you're buying a $2 million house, I think you're okay. But
Alrighty.
Is there still issues with land court?
land court is still land court, yeah.
Cause I heard it was like up to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
to record.
That's your second fee.
It just depends if you have to do petitions or anything like that to clean up the title. If your title is clear, that's why we said, get with your clients, call us if you want to prelim ahead of time, because we can look at the property, make sure we clean all that stuff out. Because even if you don't get to the point where you're selling, which is the goal, they still need to clean that up anyway, because theirs on the line is gonna have to be cleaned up anyway, and the faster they clean it up, it's better, because people are still alive, people can still be contacted. You know, the longer you wait, the harder it is to,
And that's
Get
mostly
that
for
land
ones that haven't sold a long time there. like-
yeah, or recently got a divorce, because maybe that's why
Oh.
they're selling, because now we're getting a divorce, so now you have to go through the petition to show that now we're getting a divorce, and this is our new name, and now we're not selling as a couple, you know?
We appreciate you guys so much,
yeah.
your generosity. Help yourself, guys, to breakfast. Thank you for coming.
They might wanna sell before they get divorced, if there's a lot of liens, because once they get divorced, all those liens attach to that property and they have to pay it off.
Yeah.
So just something like, hey, if you're getting a divorce, you might wanna sell it now.
They need TRO, they talk about a divorce, they need all TRO for that.
Awesome.
If they file,
If they file.
yes.
I am excited to invite, have a guest here, Colleen Northrup. She just passed her test, yay. And she's doing her diligence, which I totally respect. I think most of us did the same thing. She's going to one of our sales meetings and another company, and she's agreed to read our mission statement. So let's get the mission statement up there for you, RJ. I know, right? We have it. Here you go. Big letters.
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
I love that. Thank you for participating with us. That's amazing. That could be a good question for another brokerage. What's your mission?
Bye.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions, please, if you guys have any questions that weren't answered, just email me and I can forward them on to the escrow officer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
So we love our values. They're on our wall. Wanted to give you guys the opportunity to identify someone in the room or on Zoom. I think we've got about 40 people on Zoom that have demonstrated one of these values and what it's meant to you. Yes, Kayla, thank you.
I think for me, commitment in all things has been important because, you know, just as much as I want to be a successful realtor, I also have to be successful in like, you know, cleaning my house and going on walks and making sure to remember how important it is to take care of and be committed to every aspect of my life, because if I don't, then, you know, that will affect my business.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Hey, RJ, Ann Williams is on trying to get, can you send her the link for me? She's not able to get on through the app. Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to say teamwork, especially through this horrific time that we're rising from the ashes, is how the team has come together. There's so much noise that sometimes pulls us in different directions, and we have different experiences, and we're handling grief in different ways, but we still are leaning into one another. And I couldn't be more proud of the people I work with, the leadership that I have, and the support of my friends who are also my colleagues. We are intertwined in this journey, and thank you for each of you for being a part of it.
Yes. Thank you, Teresa, and happy birthday week. Anyone else?
I'll speak a little bit to trust and integrity and thanking mostly Michelle and Keone for having our backs all of the time, and you know, going to bat for us and always being there for us. I trust them completely with my business, and they have so much integrity in what they do. So that support is just invaluable.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, dudes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh, Karen. And then Miranda. Karen?
Hey, guys. Oh, sorry.
Oh, why don't you go ahead, Miranda? Karen.
I just want to thank Aubrey because she covered my open houses along with Chasten and Spencer. But I know that the management called her last minute because they wanted to show my open house to a new management company that was coming in, and she dropped whatever it was she was doing, ran back down there, did the tour, and the feedback was incredible. I got a call yesterday about how impressed they were with the way she handled the open houses, the way that she did the tour, how she was not just about herself, but about Keller Williams, and just such a team player. And I think that that's such a big deal.
Awesome. Thank you, Miranda. Karen, are you ready?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I couldn't get off mute. I wanted to thank in so many ways, like number one, Lisa, for just sticking with me for how many years she did to finally get me to come over here. It's just opened up a whole new world that no other company has to offer. And Colette and you, of course, and Michelle and Keone is just the best broker I've ever had in my life. I feel close with him. I know he's got my back. I know everybody's a wonderful team here. My heart bleeds for all our team members and everybody else that lost everything. But even Gary and the whole worldwide organization, the luxury crew, everybody's kicking in and are so supportive and so loving. And it's it's an amazing place to be, and it really does give us a whole new world that opens up that other companies don't. I've been in several, so yeah, it's amazing. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. One more, Teresa, is your hand still up or?
Sorry, I meant to lower it.
Okay, no worries, no worries, we'll move on. I am so excited that Marion agreed. She's an incredible professional and she's agreed to have a Marion moment with us on the 6 personal perspectives, our foundational perspectives on how to succeed. So Marion, take it away.
Hi, well, that's quite a compliment of incredible professional. And I don't always feel professional. Sometimes I feel like, oops, what just happened here? Or where did I go wrong? And I have learned over the years that the only answer to that is, what have I got to learn here? What happened? And how can I look at this to learn from this experience? So to me, number 4, making my life learning based, it's actually been an approach I've had for a long time. So it starts with what I read. Even the pleasure reading I do is usually like historical fiction or something that I learn something from. I've always got a motivational book or 2 going. And I've been reading Tony Robbins' Mastering the Money Game, and it was Lisa Teichner who actually first told me about it, and I ignored it, and then somebody else mentioned it, and it was like, wake up, the world's telling you to read this book, and it's an incredible book. And in real estate, it goes on. The learning I've done just by being with Keller Williams and teaching the material the way that Keller Williams teaches it has been an incredible learning opportunity for me. So we get inundated with all these emails about what's happening and this is happening in this class and whatnot. It's always worth it to look at and make sure you put in your schedule what piques your interest, what it is you want to learn about, how you want to grow. And then, the final thing is I love to always talk to agents about, what did you learn in this transaction? And even if it went really well, what did you learn in this transaction? Because every transaction is different and every transaction has an opportunity for more growth and for learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Marion. Awesome. We can give her a applause. I wanted to share with you guys, I have had the privilege of being in communication with a lot of you, and Eric Paulson has been generous to share his story with us and me. He's not ready to talk about it, but I wanted to show you the picture that he found, or the piece of paper that he found after his house burned down. I don't know if you guys can see it, but someone had written, my work is guided by, my love is guided by God, my life is guided by God, and God I trust. And to come back to his property and see that was just profoundly powerful for him when everything else, this is a before and after. That was his house, Eric Paulson. And then the mailboxes, and then he sent me this one and he says, life has a way. He saw this a couple days after. And so I thought those were pretty powerful, and it's been a gift to me that he would share it. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we're going to do the video later. Lauren, are you on, Lauren? I have we try to have Hawaiian culture and language at every meeting. And so there's an Aloha Authentic.
Hi, yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. There's an Aloha Authentic I'm going to play and then let you share a little bit of your story that relates to this. We want to be leaders in our industry and understanding Hawaiian culture and language. And so enjoy the video. RJ, if you could play that for us, please.
Marion's on the big screen.
Turn my light off.
She turns her light off.
She has no idea.
Mary, you're still in the big screen.
Hey, RJ, could you play that Aloha Authentic video? That's gonna work for you today. If not, we'll just move on.
Sorry guys, I've been a little technical difficulties, but I'm sharing it right now. Just a second. There you go.
This relates to Lauren's story a little bit, so, yeah.
Today, Hawaii is heavily reliant on outside imports, but it wasn't always like that. On tonight's Aloha Authentic, Kamakapili shares how life was sustained with the Ahupua'a system.
Names are very important, even those of our roadways. Have you ever wondered what the name of your street means? Our weekly Aloha Authentic segment, we highlight various streets across the islands so we can dig into those names and in turn, learn something new. This week, we learn of the Ahupua'a system. In the Ahupua'a of Kalihi, which lies in the moku of Kona here on Oahu, stands a short street given the name that means boundary or border. We're talking about Palena Street. Today, each Hawaiian island is broken down into towns and cities, but in ancient Hawaii, it was a bit different. The society of old followed what is known as the Ahupua'a system, where islands were divided into sections. Each island, or mokupuni, were broken down into large districts known as moku. Each moku were then broken down into ahupua'a, which were then broken down into smaller sections known as ili, which were then broken down even further. This system allowed those living within an ahupua'a to have access to all the natural resources needed to sustain life. The word ahupua'a translates as a land division usually extending from the uplands to the sea, so called because the boundary was marked by a heap or an altar where offerings such as pig were laid as a tax to the chief. In old Hawaii, there were approximately 1,600 ahupua'a throughout the islands. To achieve social and economic balance within each, those living there would work together, trading upland crops for those of the lowlands and of the sea. It was this relationship with each other and the Aina that made this system a success. Did you know?
Awesome.
Now
So
you do.
Lauren, one of our agents has a husband who's a taro farmer, and their whole family is involved. They have had family members that lost their home, and I'd asked Lauren to speak a little bit about her experience on the west side. If you're there, Lauren, go for it. Can you check the part?
Aloha. Aloha kako. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Go for it.
So, I have it here. So in ordering my story, I did write out a little state the kind of guys understanding of that here. I carried a call here and so my husband, he's called here in Kawo Valley, Lahana, and we are in Upo, right above. So that is my unehana. That's important. So can read their lo'ikalo or their taro farms in the 80s using a water hose. Can you hear me?
Having a little bit of a hard time. You're kind of going in and out. I know it's probably your reception. I don't know if there's any other way for you to, it says your bandwidth. Maybe we'll try it another week.
It's still bad over there.
What, pardon? The cell
Yeah.
service is still bad. Do you want to give me a call and just say it?
I don't know if you folks can thing on my Zoom where it's not letting me tap the mic. I have to go to the anyways. Can you hear me?
I think we'll do it another week, Lauren. I'm sorry, the cell service
is totally fine.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing though. We love you.
Love you guys.
That's so hard. Okay, moving on. Wanted you guys to get an update. We have the love that's been coming in from all over the country has been incredible. We've gotten over 65,000 in cash donations and 11,000 in gift cards. and 15 emergency grants were given out. So getting incredible. We all did want to hear what she said, Erin. It's true. Wanted to highlight a couple of these websites for you guys. MauiRecovers.org is a centralized place. And then you guys know about the People's Fund of Maui offering direct assistance, $1,200 a month. And then Maui Nui Strong. I have some incredible news. Our company loves us so much and is reaching out, extending $2,000 of coaching to every agent, which is free MAPS coaching this month and next month. How many of you guys have signed up? If you're not signed up for this, you should. It normally costs $250 for 30 minutes. You can choose wellness, which is the one I chose, or you can choose business. And they are just there to talk to you once a week to help you process whatever you need to process. So I'm just so thankful for that. It's about $500,000 of donations that has been given to us by people that are highly trained. Mine's actually as good as a therapist I used to have. So yeah, I encourage you to sign up if you haven't yet. There's a link in the chat. And the other thing that I'm super excited to announce is, and you probably, most of you already know, Bold normally costs $800 and they are donating it free to our company. Wow. So you guys don't have to pay for Bold. You all won the $100 lottery thing that we were doing. Katie's amazing. She's a firecracker. She actually lost her house in 2018. So she's got a lot of understanding and empathy for what we've gone through. We're starting to plan now. It's free. If you want to sign up, please scan the QR code and register. We should have, everybody should sign up. Seriously, guys, because it is normally $800. And I'm stoked to be in the room. We're going to be able to invite guests as well. I would ask each of you if you can find a productive agent to bring as your guest. We would love for them to have this opportunity. They put no limits on us. So yeah, we're trying to get 100 people or so. But I'm super excited to share this with all of you. So please register. All of you guys who won, now we're all winners. Okay, so we did the MAPS coaching. Hawaii won. There's an app. We do have an app we will be communicating through. If you don't have this app yet, please get it. Room reservations for the conference room, communication, instead of getting a dozen emails, you'll be through the app. So please download that.
And do push notifications.
Oh yeah, and the first time it'll kick you out. It's like a club. There's the bouncer. They got to make sure you're with us, and then they let you in. So they get kicked out. Yes.
I actually got kicked out and then tried to go back in and it still says access denied. Like
okay.
I tried it several times.
Okay, yeah. Carrie Scoville will help you with that, and now our new tech specialist trainer Ray will be able to help you as well. Yeah, and leading in, introducing Ray Davis. Super excited, you guys. You know, yeah. He is a rock star. He's already changed the culture and the competence and administration of our offices. So welcome, Ray.
Hey, Ray. Hey guys, I just wanted to introduce myself. Many of you may know me from my time at the front desk for a little over a year. I'm returning to staff as the Maui Tech trainer, and I am here in the Kihei office primarily, and then Tuesdays on the west side. So if you ever need me, reach out. I'm here for not only like printers and computer help, but also command help. And Kayla, I will reach out about the app login.
Yay, welcome Ray. We are so happy to have you. But one of the greatest privileges I've had this year is to get to work with this board of directors. They are dynamic, they're leaders. To qualify for the board, you have to be in the top 20% in our market center, and they have been active and busy. Our last meeting, Liza and Angela led, and I asked them to provide an update from the board.
Should we go up there?
So that the Zoom land can see you? Or no? If you don't want to, cool.
Should, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Model your shirt.
Yeah. This shirt was given to me by one of the inspector companies. Wait. Okay. Okay, so our last ALC meeting for August was the first ALC meeting after the fires. So as you can imagine, it was extremely emotional, very heavy. It was like we were dazed and confused, but we were trying to get information out. So the agenda was pretty much no agenda, but help and resources. So that we were able to cover some of the resources that they spoke about with KW Cares, gift cards, even FEMA information, anything that our agents or our community could use. What else did we cover?
We also covered the importance of help, not only for those that were directly affected, but as well as indirectly affected. And we passed around a whole list of resources. So if that's something that you guys are needing, definitely come up to us and we have a whole sheet right here. And then also Sasha highlighted already about the importance of mental health. And the donation that the MAPS coaching is giving. And we talked about that and everybody getting involved. And our mental health right now is so important. So sometimes we will have to unplug from social media, unplug from news, just because, you know, we need to be caregivers for our family. We need to stay focused in our business. If we're lucky enough to have any escrows, we want to make sure we bulletproof our escrow so it goes to close. So this is all important. And then we sent a list of questions to Christy. And one of my questions is because I get asked that a lot because I do a lot of food distribution at the Maui Food Bank. And a lot of people were asking, like, if there are undocumented people in the community, they're afraid to get help from the government. They're afraid to reach out to FEMA. What do we do and what do we tell these people? So typically, FEMA does not care about your status, your immigration status. They're here to help during an emergency basis. So please, if you know anyone that's looking for help, that needs help, and they may be undocumented, give them that information. And then also give them the list of resources that are available. The other thing we covered is Mark King is coming next month, October 4th, is that correct?
Yes.
To Oahu. And so he's going to donate some of his time for coaching sessions. He's the president, correct, of Keller Williams. So it's a huge deal. So we are trying to implement a fundraiser for our agents, silent auctions, anything. So even if you have a client that has a vacation rental and they want to donate like 2 nights, 3 nights to help with this fundraiser, or anything you can think of, it'll be super helpful. So we're excited and we're all invited to go.
Sorry.
Oh, is it just ALC?
ALC
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
sorry. Okay, so
Yeah,
just ALC
sorry.
for now.
So thank you for your service.
What else?
Fundraiser go to?
It's to the agents, to RKW agents that have lost their property.
Oh, this year.
Okay, and then we also covered
Small business loans, that if those that were indirectly affected, or sorry, everyone that's been affected. There's small business loans that are available. And so Michelle talked about specifically the steps. And if that's something that you're interested in, she's more than happy to talk with you.
And then, of course, we have the KW Cares, I believe, wasn't it like $100,000 that was released by Gary Keller for KW?
We're putting together a task force, and he's challenged us to raise more money as a company. And they're starting with Gary committed 100,000 to help our agents. Yeah.
So another question we had was, are we putting a temporary suspension of agent fees, the West Side agents, because they've been affected and impacted in such a great way? And the answer to that is yes. So the West Side agents are not going to be charged agent fees. So that was some good news that came out of the ALC meeting as well.
The impacted ones, I think, not everybody, but
Right.
yeah.
The impacted ones.
Kind of case by case, yeah.
And that's it. And so that was it for our ALC meeting. We're having another ALC meeting this week, and Colette Ching will be here to spearhead and facilitate that meeting. So transitioning from that, I would like, on Friday, our Kihei office did a Hawaiian prayer. and respect and love and aloha to Alan. So technically he's still considered missing, but we felt we had to do something. So we were privileged enough to have Joyce volunteer for a Hawaiian prayer. And it was such a heavy and an emotional time. We all gathered in a circle, we did the Hawaiian prayer, and then we talked story. Everyone shared a little story about Alan, and it was healing, emotional.
Thank you for your leadership with that, Liza. That was really powerful and appreciate that. So you guys know, the board, anybody can come and watch the meeting. And you can't participate or put a word in, but if I was an agent not on the board and you're having the best in the business, talking about their business, and you can get a feel for the state of the company. So you're welcome to join us. And Colette, our amazing owner, will be here for that. So it'd be an opportunity to get time with her. Thursday at 11:30. Teresa. Oh,
Questions.
Teresa, Marion, other questions? Yeah.
Okay, so Bonnie and I on the ALC are working with Hannah on the fundraiser. I just want to make a clarification. So we are looking towards your clients, or if you have your own, whether it be a short-term rental for a week for them to be able to donate it to raise funds. It is not going to make it for this particular October timeline. So we're targeting that we'll be doing these auctions and having them launched that people can bid on them and whatnot through Family Reunion. That said, the people who will benefit from the proceeds that the auctions raise are not only Keller Williams agents, they're realtors across the island. So we recognize as a part of our core that as much as our own are in need, so are others. So this will be to benefit all agents, regardless of company, to help with how they've been impacted by the fire. And it is an opportunity for us to stay within our core. It does not take away anything that we're doing for our whole community and the work that we're doing to continue to support all those impacted directly and indirectly.
And it should be a
And to
tax
clarify that.
that are donating, right?
I would confer with your
Let's get
professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will there be a flyer we can send out that gives the details, so we can send it out mass to our clients that have people things to give?
We are working on it, and we'll be working, like I said, Bonnie and I are working with Hannah, and we want to get through all of the details, and we'll set it up as an auction site for internal for KW to bid on. It won't be bid on outside of KW because of auction laws, but our clients, regardless of where they live, can choose to donate that time. So we're working out some of the details. It will be forthcoming. And so, yes, you will have something to be able to talk to your clients about.
Marion. Thank you, Teresa.
Hi, I just wanted to share that I attended Chad Shimabukura's, I think it's called the Broker's Corner last Friday. And there was a grief counselor who spoke. And at first I thought, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. I live in haiku. What? And I decided to go, and it was revelatory. So I learned about something called grief brain. Like, who's ever heard of grief brain? We've all heard about the 5 stages of grief, right? Well, I have been having grief brain. I can't focus. I can't pay attention. I am close to tears often. I can't sleep well. Lots of different funny little symptoms that this counselor described. I felt so relieved that I wasn't going nuts, that there wasn't something, wrong with me, that it was just something that's can be expected. So Sasha might want to look into whether that video is available, whether I believe it was recorded. I highly recommend you watch it. It was really, really helpful.
Thank you, Marion. Yes, and we have a special guest today. I cannot wait to introduce you to who has experience in helping people with trauma. So we'll, if you can stay on, you'll be able to hear from her as well. All right, thank you. We are beating our board. We'd like to show you guys these stats. It's all our world-class training calendar. If you look at the producing agents, we're up 2.7. RAM was down. Closed production sell side. Maui was up 20%, and RAM was up 5%. So just a tribute to our incredible leadership, brokers, and training. Okay, Pauhana, ladies, do you have an announcement for this Friday? Kahului? Teresa, would you like to speak to that for anyone?
Yes, so this Friday, what we're going to do is Keone is going to help, and we have some others who are going to talk. We're going to eat, we're going to talk story. It's not going to be exactly an official training, but we're going to go over what we do as realtors and how we can best help our clients by pushing them back towards the professionals who can help them in the areas that they may be needing, such as if they need FEMA support, providing them the resources of where they can go to get it, versus trying to direct them on how they need to apply to FEMA. We are professionals in our own realm, and we can be a direction post, but we're not that final expert. So we want to be able to provide the resources in the toolbox, but not step into trying to solve the dilemma for them. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Other than that, we're going to have margaritas, we're going to have food, and we're going to talk story.
Awesome. Yeah, this last Friday was amazing. Look forward to meeting everybody here on Friday. Okay, we have some incredible leaders who came up with this great idea of a book club. Before we start, let's bring Steve up. Give him a hand. I wanted to ask you guys, put your hand up and keep it up if you've read the MREA once. How about twice? 3 times.
The lady.
4, 5.
I look at it a lot.
I'm doing on my number 12, you guys. The first time I went through it, it was like a foreign language. So I encourage you, please, to join us.
Yeah, I was gonna talk briefly. I know we're behind, but everybody knows what this book is, especially being a Keller Williams agent. A lot of the training through Ignite and through business fundamentals and all that is pretty much based on this. So no matter what stage you are in, whether you're new or whether you've been doing this for a while, it's worth reading. You'll definitely get to some parts where it talks about hiring a team. And if that doesn't apply to you, either read through it just to get a good understanding or skip that part if you want. But it's always good to kind of refresh yourself. And then as you grow in your business, you'll learn new things. We're going to do this once a month, of course, different books each time. As you see, this time is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Go ahead and get one. There is some available at your market centers. I think it's $20. So you just put on your tab, put on Keone's tab, whatever you like. The next book is Samantha Kramer. She's going to be hosting Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is right here. Go ahead and buy that book now and it'll come in the mail and you'll be ready to go. We're going to have the first meeting. It's going to be the first Monday of the month. So October 2nd will be the first one right after the huddle. So it's pretty convenient. There's still food usually. So, and then the one after this next one, November book is going to be Grit by Miranda Williams, MWW. And so,
Test too with it.
oh, there's a test with it
There's
too.
the grit test to see how gritty you are. No, I'm serious.
I'm pretty gritty.
They are reading.
So that's going to be November's book. Go ahead and get that now, as Angela Duckworth is the author. So thank you. Just show up when you like. Even if you don't finish the book, still come to the meeting. It's still worth it. So
yeah, thank
cool.
you, Steve.
Thank you,
For your
everybody.
leadership. What a great idea. This book changed my life. I mean, it really, I'm still using with what I learned in it. It's great. And I'm gonna apologize in advance. I agreed to be on a regional call at 11. So if I have to pop out, I'm sure one of you can help keep this going. Okay, quickly, case studies classes by Michelle coming up next week, and intro to commercial. And then, okay, I wanted to be able to have time to be here for this. So I am so excited, you guys, to introduce you to Kathy Ollerton Kraftchow. She is an incredible woman and professional, has experience owning a brokerage, and she reached out to us after everything and said, we want to give back. She lives in Lahaina and had experience after 9/11 going back and helping students for 2 years. She asked her brokerage, who wants to go help? You have to pay for it yourself. And there was like 28 people who agreed, and they continue to go back every month. So there's a Keller Williams agent, Steve Smith, who's on the line. We have a video from him introducing Kathy, and then I would love to show you her bio. Oh, there it is. Can you play, oops, I just played my, can you play that video for us, RJ? Spreading hope and love, yeah.
Hi, my name is Steve Smith. I'm an agent with Keller Williams in the Roseville, California office here in Northern California. First, I want to extend to you my heartfelt feelings for your loss and challenging circumstances on Maui. With that being said, I am excited to take this opportunity to introduce you to my friend, Kathy Allerton, a coach, a trainer, a speaker, and a past broker in Northern California. She is known by many for the difference she has caused in so many lives. On December the 15th, 2001, I stood in her home along with 27 other agents who had taken some of her courses. She shared her intention to find and create a way to make a difference in New York near Ground Zero. She shared if we wanted to participate, we would have to agree up front to some big commitments, and we did. On February the 10th, 2002, we arrived in New York. On February the 11th, we arrived at the High School for Leadership and Public Service, located some 200 feet from the corner of Ground Zero. There, Kathy led us in an amazing full day of critical stress incident training with the students who were from Harlem. The students shared and listened to Kathy and participated in many exercises designed to help them cope with their feelings. Kathy spoke all day. We did the exercises all day, and there were many positive, measurable results. As it turned out, that one amazing day turned into 2 years of work with those students. Kathy and I were able to attend the first anniversary ceremonies for 9/11 at Ground Zero. There we met President Bush and First Lady Laura Bush, who helped us with Kathy's next project, building a school and clinic in Afghanistan, which are fully operational today. The school has 532 boys and girls, and the clinic serves up to 80 people a day when open. Kathy is going to speak to you today. Then she is going to offer you an amazing opportunity. I hope you'll accept it. Thank you, and I hope to meet you soon on Maui. God bless.
Oh, it was super exciting to have. Yeah, let's give her I understand you guys, this is going a little bit longer, so just come and go as you want, and you need. Kathy's amazing. She came and just is giving this as a gift to us. And not only is she an incredible professional, she was the 40th woman to summit Mount McKinley. So really interesting in all different ways. So I would love to bring her up to help us, and I will defer to her experience. And Ocean Lahua is also here to support her in marketing efforts. And the last slide before I go, you can go through RAM. She's offering an additional full day of training. And the slide is right the next day. Oh, and Jonathan has a question.
Oh, not a question. I just wanted to let everybody know that the Culture Committee has committed to doing a volunteer service once a month at Hale Kaukau, where we cook food and serve it to those in need. Since people have been displaced around the island, it's been active, and it's a really wonderful thing to do. So I just wanted to let all the agents know, if you're interested in participating in that, just let me know. I'm creating a list, and then I contact agents monthly. There's usually only 4 or 5 of us per month. But just wanted to make that announcement.
Awesome, Jonathan. Thank you. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. So
You're stepping right up. So, all right, good morning.
Good morning, and it's wonderful to be here and to see you, to see how much activity you have going on and the spirit that's here and your energy level that I didn't know what to expect. So I was glad to show up and see that you're like this. I wanted to have way more time with you. And I was supposed to go from 10:30 to 11, and I think I have 5 minutes, right? I can? Okay. Well, that being said, I want to just give us, I just want to say, I live in Lahaina. We bought our property 14 years ago. My husband and I managed Prudential, California. We own Prudential, the northern part of California, all of Nevada and parts of Texas. And we had 5,500 agents, which is nothing to what you guys had. But for us, it was a handful. And we sold in 2017, and then we moved here to our home in Lahaina. And we have loved it. And we love this island. And we love the people. We love everything about it. So everyone's heart is breaking because people love Lahaina. So many people were here and now it was just all gone. But who I sat on the couch and watched everything happening. And I said to my husband, I've got to do something. And then I met this wonderful woman, Ocean Lahua. And there I met her before I got here. I met her through my father's messaging to me. I don't go into the details, but on Father's Day, he came to me and told me what to do. And I found her, and the word was Lahua, to watch for. And when it was there, we have a foundation. We're here to serve people. And we're going to serve people at a very high level. So first thing I want to do is, I don't know how emotional you want to get, but that's the kind of a person I am. And what I will probably talk to you about it, but if you do decide to sign up for the full day, I would want you to come and be prepared to come at 10 o'clock in the morning and stay until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And if I can get them to let me stay later, I'll stay as late as it takes for us to get done what I want us to get done in that day. So it's a tool that I would give you that you would be able to use over and over and over again, because what's happened is you had an experience we call a gestalt. And that is when I walk you through a certain process, you're going to come to a frame in your mind. I want you to freeze that frame. And when you freeze that frame, what happens is I take you through a guided process. And then you have an understanding of what happened. And it gives you a tool to manage the triggering that's going to come on down the road. So it's going to happen. Because it's like in this gestalt, everything it's experienced at once. It's all mentally, behaviorally, it's psychically, it's emotionally, it's biologically. There's 365 chemicals that are released when the shock happens. The mind doesn't function, and then we're trying to get through. Now, what happens overall is that we feel victimized by this, because what did we do? We were just sitting there, and it happened. And that's a big part of the process, is actually breaking things down and have you work through them through different parts of your life. And this tool I'll give you will help you. So is this making sense so far? Yeah. Okay. So I was going to demonstrate one person, but I think what you're going to have to do is just kind of trust me a little bit, because when we went to New York, we went in and we gave one workshop, and the teacher, the principal there, said, we got more out of this one day than the past 6 months. And so we want you to come back. So we went back, and they were a school out of Harlem, and they ended up almost getting all of them to graduate, and we raised funds for them. And all of them got into either a school or that's not right, we didn't get 6, a school or a trade. And so that's what happened with that. So what I'd like to do is just open up. If you could get something out of spending a day, and there would be follow-up, you'd have follow-ups with some of my team, and they would talk to you on the telephone. But if you could get something out of it, what would you be looking for? What would be of value to you if you said, if I could get this, it would be meaningful? Okay. A focus, a pure focus. Okay, talk to me about that. What is it like right now?
Distraction.
Okay. And what distracts, do you think?
The news. Just seeing people that come in at a store where I work occasionally. Coming in, I lost my home and I'm dive right in and I've got to be careful about doing that. You know, but at the same time, I'm looking to.
Right.
So
You do
where do
have
you
to be
go?
careful. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Okay, focus. We'll talk about that a little bit. Someone else. What would be important to you personally?
When that picture no longer creates that reaction.
Okay, what picture? Oh, you got it. Okay, if you would come Wednesday, we would walk through that with you.
Are you just doing one?
Yes, because, but I wanted FEMA and everything to get all done. What we did is we didn't go to New York until about 6 months after, but there was all this fluff and everything. We were most effective when we went there after a few months. So we want to get this going for immediate and then give you the tools so you can begin to work it. But there is so much we can give you as it goes on. So, but anyway, what she's talking about is that frame or that picture in your mind. And once you get it, I was talking to someone and they said, you know, the people that went through your class that used that tool, you ought to see them now. This is the fires in Napa. And she said, you ought to see them now. And she said, the ones that didn't are still stuck. And where you get stuck is in depression. And you can get really, really honed into it. And it's because you feel victimized. And part of this is giving you the opportunity to go back through it, but to experience it out of your choice. Say, this time I'm going to have this experience on mine. And that's what evaporates it, goes out of your system. So you can get back to focusing in your head, because that's all an emotional thing. Yeah, Kayla.
I would say, you know, I was in 5th grade when 9/11 happened, and I was in New York and I saw it happen from my bathroom window. Yeah, so I was in PS 71 in the Bronx, and we could see the towers. So it's kind of crazy for me to like, you know, come from Albania, a war-torn country, and then like witness 9/11 and then like line of fire. I'm like, what is going on? And I think a valuable thing for me, because I've definitely just, you know, buried all those things. And I think for me, it would just be like, what are the cues? Because sometimes we don't know that we're in depression, right? Or like sometimes maybe I act like I'm not.
Right.
But just maybe like the cues of like being in denial, or like the cues of like, am I really depressed? Or just checking in with yourself and like knowing if I am really healthy or clear on.
You're going to have some depression, and that's just part of the 5 stages. You've already went through that. You're going to, some of it is the way you eat. If you're eating more than usual or less, that's a sign. If you can't sleep, that's another sign. If you're having a hard time focusing, that can be, there's a whole bunch of them. The issue is, if you stay in that frame for longer than 2 weeks, then that's when you're kind of in trouble. That's when it starts getting to be habits and so hard in that you can't move yourself out of it. So there's so many, you name it, the grief, she just named them all off. So.
I think there's a couple people, Teresa's asking what's going on Wednesday, and I think there's a question is on the 15th on Friday.
On the 15th of Friday, it's going to be another orientation where we enroll people, and that's going to be for all the realtors. So that will be, gosh, when is that one? We changed it.
15th is another presentation.
Right, but what time did we do it? 2 to 4?
2 to 4.
2 to 4. So we were going to do it in the morning and decided to do it in the afternoon. So it's 2 to 4. If you want to come there, then that I can give you a better example of what the full day on the 20th will be. So that's what we're talking about on that.
The 15th, Friday the 15th.
Yeah. No, yeah, Friday the 15th, this Friday from 2 to 4 will be another workshop that will be longer so that I can get across exactly what this is.
For people in the
And we'll
Zoom
email
land.
them.
Yeah, you'll get an email.
All right, but I still want to keep staying with you this week. Yeah.
You guys all get an email. Will you be offering anything further?
Yeah. Not till after January.
Oh.
Okay, hold on, let's get some other input here, Steve. We talked.
You know, I can't say that I was directly affected by it. I just think in general, everybody on Maui at one point is indirectly had some version of it. Kind of you get kind of lost knowing, we talked about this a few other folks, but knowing what to do, when to do it. As an agent, we all need to survive, but I mean, you gotta be respectful and just trying to figure out your past since we've all been kind of thrown off.
So that's what we looked at as a community, and you're one of the people we really watch for, because there is this wave that gets kind of on the whole island. And if you're here, you're gonna go through things, even if you don't think you are rational, but they're going to be there and they're going to be affecting you. But I hear what you're saying. It may not, you may not lost your home, or you may not, we didn't lose our home, but we lost all of our farm and the rest of the wine stuff, and that was really. But you, even if you're not there, you're part of it.
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
I feel that too, like I'm just going back to Lahaina last weekend, like, I feel like, you know, I'm attached over to Key just because it is, you know, people are moving around and I needed that. But all my friends over there are super wigged out, even if they have like their house and their kids got into Maui prep and they're all like looking like they're good, they're not. And that's, I can tell, I'm just like, those wanna come to Key. You should come to the Fairmont, you know, but they need that break. I was like, you guys gotta get off and like get away.
Okay,
Like,
what would be valuable for you?
for me, I just feel like sick. I just feel like icky.
Okay.
Like, you know, I'm just.
Survivor's guilt.
I don't feel guilty, like, I
Did you
don't.
lose your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel
Okay.
guilty, like, I feel okay, like, I don't know about okay, but I just like, it's sick.
Okay.
Like, but I'm not sick, but I
I
feel
know.
sick.
Is that not?
It's like, it's, yeah.
Mhm. It's, if you could get one thing that would be valuable out of a day with us next Wednesday, what would you want to walk away with? Okay.
Like I've said before, no, I'll say it,
You
like,
are
I'm
so
okay with,
great.
I'm okay with change, like, I like change. So I'm like, I like, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, I like change, you know, I'm okay with like moving forward, like, I like that part of life.
Right.
Like, so I'm looking forward to what's coming next, sort of thing. But, I just don't want, like, I have been in the past, like a trainer and stuff, and this is like feeling icky inside, isn't it good?
Right.
And this is not a choice
No,
of this
yeah.
change, you know, this
Yeah.
wasn't like your inspiration, like, I wanna move to Beach.
Exactly. Good point. Yeah. Keep saying, I want the feeling. Keep
Yeah,
letting
yeah,
it up.
no, and it's, you know, like I said, we've been very lucky, like where we're staying is like I feel like a nice hotel, and we just, you know, I'm gonna meet a guy later and he'll choose us to get, you know, a house we wanted, sort of thing, so all those are good things, you know.
Okay.
I just don't like the inside
The
feeling, because I'm
inside
used to
feeling.
feeling good. I'm
But
used
think
to like.
about that, because that's where you
Yeah.
live. You live inside your body, and if it's feeling sick,
I don't want it to turn into actual sick, you know, that's because I know it can, you can make yourself sick, and I don't want to.
exactly. So that's all the more reason why you have to keep having this tool, and when you have those feelings come up, this is, I'll begin to tell you what you do. You say, I'm a human being. I'm having a human experience. I'm expanding what it means to be human. And as soon as you're willing to do that, that kind of calms you a little bit, so that you don't get into why or what or whatever. The highest form of human communication is personal revelation. And what our goal is to keep you so clear all the time, so you can have the connection, because you're going to need that connection to know what to do for yourself, what to do for your body, what to do for your family. And if I had the time right now and it would be appropriate, you've got to be there.
Yeah, no,
Because when these feelings come up, you're really, really ready for it, then you say, what was the message? What was the words? And you'll hear it. And it will say something like, you're gonna be okay.
No, I feel that, I know that, I just can't get it out.
It's like we Hanai someone, and she's
Yeah.
my Hanai.
Yeah.
So when I asked her, what do you want? She's like, oh, I'm good. Actually, it's kind of good not having anything. You know? And one thing about Allie is she's just always, you're just like, when you came to my listing, my first open house that is gone. You're just always so aloha and so positive and so sprite. And so all she wanted was a cooler and some chocolate chip cookies for her son, and then I forced her to have some wine. You know, and you know, whether you own the house or you don't, it's all gone. And we who haven't lost our homes feel it viscerally in different levels.
Well, that's what, yeah, I know,
From-
feel bad,
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
feel
it gets
bad.
to be kind of what we saw, it was kind of like a wave of consciousness hanging over a community, and you wouldn't even expect it, and kind of you'd walk into it, and whoa, it'd be like this wave, and you wouldn't even know where it came from. So we just want to give you this tool so that you'll be able to move. We can't keep you from doing it, from moving through it. You're going to have to, and you just want to shorten the learning curve of how long it's going to take. You know, we don't want someone holding on to it for, you know, years after. And one of the things that the earlier we can get to it, the better that it would be for that. So, yes.
Is this open just for RAM members, or is it?
Any friends, anyone, yeah, the public. So we'll come back
How are
and
we
do.
all gonna fit in the building?
Well, now you bring me to an important part. It holds 60 chairs. And we don't use the tables. So if you sign up, please show up. Because what we can't do is turn people away. We may have to, because there's just not enough room. You have to show, I have to go on your word of honor. And normally I have people pay money, so I know they're gonna be there. This is just a different kind of a price you're gonna pay to get there. It's going to be, you know, are you willing to deal with the whole experience that you've been going through? And are you willing to see it? Now, the thing is, when you do experience something, and that's what you have to do, then it processes out. If you see yourself in a certain frame, if you see yourself in a victim, then you get caught up and it just spins and it just goes over and over and over again. And that's not what we want to see. We want you to have that insight that, gosh, I've been doing a lot of work with physicists around the quantum information field. And I know you guys would be closer to touching that field than you've ever been. And getting information that what will come to you. You just can't blame anyone. You can't have anger around anything. You just got to be willing to say, I'm a human being and I'm having a human experience. And listen, the thing we found out at the school is that those kids, one of them went on to become a congressman. His name's Chris Banks. We might get a little piece from them. So you can see the end result of what happened when we got into work. But the other place we worked was a place called St. Paul's Chapel. And that was right on the edge of Towersville. And so the workers would go down and do the work, and then they'd come up. And we changed this chapel into, well, someone did, we just worked there, into where we could feed them. And then in the rafters, we put beds. And so when the workers would come up, it was our job, my team's job, to sit down and diffuse them on the pews of the chapel. And some days they came up and it was just horrific, the kind of an experience they were having. And some days it wasn't so bad, but it was a place everyone came looking for missing people, but it was a sanctuary. And I just want you to know that there is a way to get through this in a shorter period of time. And I will give you everything I've got while I'm here. And I've got my team lined up in October to do a workshop a week with small groups. And you look what Keller Williams is offering. This is a great company, what they're offering. And Sasha couldn't have been better at wanting to care for you, caring about what you are. Can we get you the best? Can we get you everything? Just bring it. And you're not going to be able to do everything that comes up, but you know, you're going to pick and choose. You're going to find the right things for you. And you're going to find that there is a blessing in this. And that's a hard thing to say or see right now, but sometimes you'll see that. Is there anyone else that wants to say anything that what they would like to get out of it?
On my routine back.
That's a healthy.
I want my schedule back. I want my connections. Everything we do is on one side.
Okay, well, you know, that's one of the very first things you can do is get ritual and routine back, even if it's a little thing like make my bed, brush my teeth. Do this, but you'll get it back. It will come back. It's just gonna take time. Instead of, and that's what we want to do is give you the way to go through it a little bit faster, but a routine right now, get on track to doing anything you can do that's routine. Take care of pets. You know, that's another good thing to do. Make sure you get enough sleep, walk. You've got to get if you can take saunas to get those toxics out of your body, 365 chemicals. Just look, adrenaline's just one little one. I mean, just think of that. What's surging through there. Okay, someone else.
Oh, just curious, it says, Kahului conference room, is that gonna be here or somewhere, or we're gonna get an email? What's it, Ram? Oh, okay.
Ram, right, and we do have a visitor from her friend was that one we did last Wednesday, and she got you here too, so.
I'm not a realtor.
I know.
I'm just interested in what's going on and I feel.
Yeah.
And so I'm really glad to be here because one of the people that I heard up there is just learning through different experiences, right? From reading something different, always learning. So you may not know it, but I'm learning a lot from each one of you, even though I'm not in a realtor or anything. That's a gift you give me, so thank you.
That's great. Okay, so sweet. Yeah, you can bring friends, you can bring people, you can bring family. As we go on, we can show you how to work with children, how to work with teens, anything like that. But this is the main thing we want to get across right away is for you to understand what happens when you trigger, to make sure it's a healthy thing. It's a sign that all that stuff that was happened in that gestalt is tight, and the pieces start breaking off. And so it just says you're ready to process something. If you see it in a healthy way, and let yourself process it and say, oh my goodness, look what I'm feeling now. I've got that feeling again. Then you can just keep working, and then you can ask, what is that feeling? What do you want to tell me? And it will tell you something if you're really open to that. And you just it helps you so you're not afraid of the future, because one of the hardest things is to be uncertain as to what's going to happen. One thing you can be certain about is you're going to be having this. One thing that will also be certain is, and you don't know when, you don't know, watch for anniversaries, pictures, places you've been and things like that, mostly anniversaries, but and you know what today is? 9/11. That's what we couldn't believe. If it were here, and we call you 808. So we have 9/11 and 808 because it was August 8th when the fire.
So another one, many were asleep and didn't have to go through it, but when we had this January 13th false alert of a missile attack.
Yeah.
In those 20 minutes,
yeah,
it was real.
Yes. Yes.
And some of my friends were blessed to like, oh, I slept through it. I didn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, so those are also because it's your body only knows what your mind tells it.
Listen, and the thing about loss, I mean, there's two major experiences in life, attachment and loss. And when you have a loss like this, it's going to bring up a whole lot of other losses. Sometimes we end up processing out of this thing, someone who died 7 years ago that had nothing to do with this. It's just how you're holding loss in your psyche and all the places, even in the muscles and everything of your body. But I know that this will work. I know if I see you 2 years down the road, which I hope I would, you would be able to say, boy, that really helped. That I just feel that certain about it. So if there's any other questions when you come, wear casual clothes. Because we sometimes do things on the floor, and yeah, be prepared to stay the whole time. If you come and say, I have to leave at 2, I'm going to turn you right. Because I'm going to stay with you as long as I can. And I want you to stay. We'll have a hard stop at 5 for people, but I'm trying to get them to let me keep a key and lock up the door after I leave. I'd stay with you till 10 or 11 until you felt that you had it, but we're just not at that location that we have that ability to do it. So.
You talked about those toxins.
Yeah.
Any thoughts between now and the class
on ways to help manage. You mentioned one thing that I didn't hear. Saunas.
Okay, and then, the Church of Scientology would let the people we were working with go to their church, and they said they would give them these saunas, and the stuff would come out of their body, they couldn't believe. There are some health spas that have things that you just put your feet in, and that will pull a lot of toxins out, that's another good one. Best thing is drink a lot of water, as much more water than you normally ever do, and to walk. Simple walking will help move those things up and down. But the saunas were the other thing. I would imagine the ocean help.
It does. What was the last thing?
The ocean.
The ocean, yes. Yeah. He's like a sauna.
So it will be a really great day. We have the signature thing here. And I'll stay around while you have, I don't like to present when people are eating, so I'm gonna let you eat. That's okay though, you should know.
We actually started to.
Oh, did you? And then let's get your names on and see where we are, but you have to absolutely know you will be there. Promise? Yeah. And then if you can't, that's okay, and we'll find another time. But let's get this one going, so we'll pass it
If we
around.
can't be there, is there any way to sign for your next one? Or am I like, I'm on sign.
I didn't know what it was, but.
Where did Ocean go?
Oh, she's outside.
That's a big one. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's see, who knows they'll be there right now? Who knows they'll be there right now on Wednesday?
Only because you said you had to be the whole time, let me make sure, but it sounds.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, kids, yeah.
so no one?
No, I'll find it.
You'll be there. So we got one. I'm gonna see where we are. 2, 3, 4.
I'll be there.
There's like.
I'll be there too.
Okay, so you sign up. And then we'll have a callback list. For the
Just
one.
so you know, there's a email everybody got out this morning. There's a new one coming from Makinani with the link to the full day. So if you're here today, you don't need to re-register for Friday, correct? Because this is duplicate of today. Is that correct?
Well, we need the seating.
Right, so whoever's here today, Friday is the same thing. They just need to register for the full day.
Those come the full day, we said.
The full day is on the money.
Yeah.
Wait, can you clarify that? Is Wednesday and Friday the same?
No.
So
Okay.
Friday's a duplicate of what right now is a presentation, and then the full day is on the 20th, which is the workshop. And then there's a new email coming out, a revised one from Makinani with the new link to sign up.
So if we registered for Friday, that's a duplicate of this, so we need to unregister for that so that you have seats. And then what we're actually
If you're
attending,
sure you want to come, just take a seat on Wednesday. If you feel you need more information because this was too abbreviated, then come on Friday because it'll be 2 hours, and then we could really take someone and do the work with them so that you could see how that works. If
Okay,
if you know you want to be there, take the seat.
Thank you, Kathy, so much for doing this for us. It's really wonderful.
Oh, you're welcome. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm invisible today.
I love your voice. I love your voice. So.
Thank you.
I was reading for that.
Well, when you're done, say one more announcement.
Okay, okay, anybody else have any other questions? Let's just get you on there, then we'll know what to do on Friday with the other group, and then we'll find out what happened to the people online. Thanks, Steve. I'll see you Wednesday. You'll be there.
So can we sign up virtually here?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
I'm gonna hang around, and Ocean and I will be here just hanging around. She is this amazing person. I don't know if you know her, but you will get to know her better because we're working together now. She's one of the most brilliant people I've seen in marketing and how she sees things in her mind. And we want to really get this work out for the next year. And I'm always going to be looking for other people to help with team leaders. You'd be some of the first Hawaiian people I would look to that went through this, that had been doing a lot of the training.
And I do want to say one thing, speaking of Hawaiian and Kathy being from you, she had a dream about the Lehua Blossom, which is why the Lehua Blossom is the Lehua Foundation. And I want to point out, I'm sure a lot of you know, but Lehua is native to Hawaii. But the difference between Lehua blossom and all the other stems and flowers you ever see is one bud, right? Creates the flower. Everybody blossoms on their own, but the Lehua blossom, it can't do it without everybody. It's a cluster of a whole bunch of blossoms that turns into one gorgeous blossom. So it's about connections, about supporting each other and blossoming together, which, you know, so.
So there you are. So we want many people to get and bloom together. All right, well, I'll close this off so you can have breakfast, but come up to me. I'll talk to anybody personally. I'll watch for you for sure on Wednesday, and you guys that I've talked to a little bit. It's gonna be really good, and I just appreciate you giving me my time, and I just feel like I could do something. That's all. I don't want to do everything. I just want to do something. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Basically, the meeting's over, but Don Harris from DHTV wanted to announce that he has a listing coming up Friday, Hole Terrace at Kehalani, 625,000. 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, ground floor, outside lockable area, 2 side-by-side parking spots, Tiger Woods, and porcelain tile floors. Thanks for the laugh there, Karen. Plantation, stainless appliances partially furnished. So once again, 625,000, all Don Harris. I think that's it. We're all good. Bye-bye, everybody. This breakfast is so good. You're missing out. Oh.
Bye, everyone.
Done.
Hello.